chain on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this, for real. I'm not pressed with making lists, for real. I stay low and stack my chips, for real. You keep looking for a flip, for real. That's not wealth, that's rich, for real. 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 Really real. Really real. Really real. Really real. For real. For real. For real. For real. No liens on the whip, for real. I get bored, I take a trip, for real. Take a loss, I never trip, for real. Been in shock, I'm not a lick, for real. Don't trust the soul, it's on my hip, for real. Make a move and you get hit, for real. No pictures by the crib, for real. Can't let them know just where I live, for real. 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 Really real. Really real. Really real. Really real. For real. For real. For real. For real. Plain on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this, for real. Tell 'em run it all. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turn to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself there getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it all.
Good morning all. Yes sir, happy Wednesday to everyone. Hope everyone is well, and yeah, let's get it. Let's see what we have going on for today. Today's a very important day for the GBP here today. I'm going to explain why. Let me make sure all systems go first. Yes sir, there we go. Sweet. So start off here on the calendar. I'm going to show you guys today. We have two very important things. We have GBPjpy here at around 11 o'clock, so it's going to be in about 20-ish minutes. And then we have the annual budget release. Annual budget is super important, basically going to, you know, kind of say, are they pumping money into the economy? Could create jobs. If it's creating jobs, boost the economy, of course, and we can see a positive outlook in that. We're also going to see, you know, obviously if they're putting more budget towards things that are not pro-economy boosting, then it's just an interesting thing, you know. It just definitely gives a guideline. CPI is always an important one. CPI is your inflation number, right? So expecting inflation to tick down here. If we see inflation tick up, means they'll have to keep interest rates high for longer, will actually be bullish for pound. Now, if inflation comes a little bit lower than expected, we will see a dump, but it coming back as expected from 3 to 2.9, it's not really a drastic difference here. I would just expect kind of like a whipsaw move during the news, and that's about it. So we're going to see what ends up happening here. In terms of the analysis, I want to stay pretty neutral until news, because news could give a very heavy move, but we do have previous daily closing bearish. It is closing bearish back below previous daily support here as well. But when we switch to 4-hour time frame, we do have a successful higher low yet again on the 4-hour time frame here, kind of pushing us towards that 4-hour resistance. So big target of today will be that 4-hour resistance up there, which is basically the key level 195. Right now we're hovering at that daily resistance. 1-hour time frame is created a resistance here. We pushed up quite a lot of 1-hour candles during Asian. 30-minute time frame as well, same resistance being created. And then let's see what the 15-minute time frame is saying. 15-minute time frame also created that resistance there. And then we have a little bit of something here from the past. So obviously a plan would be buying above here, would make sense, mixed session bias, but we do have news. So we could actually, you know, news could end up filling this range towards the downside. We are mixed session bias. Ideally that we look for something after news, just so we don't get stuck during news here, depending on when the chart's set up. If this doesn't close above in 5 minutes, then you know it's basically you're waiting for news here on GJ itself. But for the rest of the charts, there's no news today. We'll see if news just does a quick move here. There's, you know, the selling ranges below 194 definitely would mix bias here. Even to 194 would make sense, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, a little bit complex when it comes to trying to predict how big the news is going to be. So gold here on the other hand, nice pop up here from this 15-minute support this morning. If we look at daily time frame, it has closed bullish here, is creating a support. 4-hour time frame, kind of, it was looking like it was creating another lower high, but we kind of reversed that, and we made resistance here. I want to mark that 4-hour resistance, and we're kind of like breaking it now. So it's actually a very interesting move. It's still a mixed session bias, believe it or not. Popping into this 1-hour resistance right here. 30-minute is right there. Look, we could retrace this move with mixed session bias. I don't think it's crazy. I think if we get a change of structure here back below 23, sells could make sense. I think today is actually pretty simple. So you would need a change of structure to look for the sells back below 23, breaking back below this previous range. We could take sells back down. If not, and we create some good supports, we could even attempt to buy back up to this high and potentially up to the 4-hour and keep it simple like that. So I think that's what I'm going to be looking for. Yeah, I think that makes sense here. Retrace some of this move, even if it ends up being a higher low, which is kind of what we saw yesterday. It still gives you an opportunity to take a sell, even if it does do that. And if it does do that, we could even look for a buy later if there's no entry. So that's the few options here for gold here, buy and sell scenario. So we could see what ends up happening with that, but pretty straightforward. Now looking at DAX here on the other hand, we had some big, excuse me, sorry, I went to bed very late yesterday, guys. I went to bed very late yesterday. I think like 4 hours sleep. So I will be a little bit yawning, but we are good. So if we're looking here at the charts here, this big move came in yesterday with Germany announcing big budgets and big injection of capital into the economy, which kind of gave that a bit of a pump here. Now, if we're looking how that ended the daily, of course, you could assume it ended it bullish, right? So is a very healthy bullish candle continuing this higher low pattern we've been having from daily lows. Looking at 4-hour time frame, we are creating this weakness formation. So today I could actually consider today mixed. Previous 4-hour support here was not tapped yesterday, and this one right here, we can keep this on the chart just as a watch zone. 4R, and let's see what the ranges are saying here. So in terms of selling ranges, there is some nice selling ranges. If we want to continue this weakness, we could pick liquidity from this range here, so we want to be careful about that. I want to see after Frankfurt open. Obviously buy ranges can be pretty nice as well here, especially if we pick liquidity. If we do something like that, dip down, close above this resistance, we could actually buy to here and see what happens and potentially continue this move from yesterday. The only thing that makes me a little bit concerned is how the 4-hour looks very weak. But you know, I want to see that on broker. What happened to my broker? Let that load. Right, let's see. 4-hour. So we do have a bullish candle on 4-hour actually. We have bearish, bullish, and then this candle is currently bearish. Gap is filled at least. I still will be on the side of keeping this somewhat mixed here. I still will be on the side of keeping this somewhat mixed, but I don't want to be the first person to, you know, really attempt to sell too aggressively here. I don't want to sell too aggressively, but if the sells, if this shit starts breaking down, I will be okay to take sells. Otherwise, I'm looking for buys. Obviously, this is going to be a concern. This previous range here could be a massive retest zone. And then above that, we kind of need a breakout. What I mean by a breakout is we need a breakout of this range. Probably looking for buys above 23,166. That's probably where the buys I'm looking for. Otherwise, we're looking to trade below this range or inside of the range is the most immediate options here. Have about 15 points, not the best. The selling range, we do have a very big range here, about 49 points. So that's what I mean. We can even wait for extra confirmation in this selling range because we have room. So we're going to see in about 15 minutes how the next 15-minute candle closes. This is obviously not closing below. This is not going to be too valid for sells anyways or buys. It's just closing where it is, unless in the last 10 seconds or 6 seconds it does some stupid business and suddenly pops up. But I don't think it will. And yeah, so we're waiting for next 15-minute candle, and that's basically the plan. Gold should tap 4-hour to take a setup 5 short. No, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to retest 4-hour. If it is retesting 4-hour up here, then I would be considering why wasn't I able to take buys here. I'd be looking for the buy setup to get to there, and that's it. So that is the plan here. That is the plan. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the analysis. All was loud and clear and made sense. Now we just wait for the setup, so you guys know the drill. If you did enjoy the analysis, definitely leave a like on the stream. Get the likes up to 300 of us in here. We can get it like up to 150. I would appreciate that. So yeah, let's get it. And let's see what today has in store. That's about it. What do you do when you get a very clean setup before news? If I get a very clean setup before news, I depending on the time, I'll take it. It doesn't matter. I'll take it. DAX above the previous 1 hour support could be a buy. Let's have a look. Above previous 1 hour. You mean if it was to fake out here and then close back above previous 1 hour support? For me, I'm looking above this 15 here. It would kind of be like a setup 5. More to the left. Which one, man? Yeah, this is the 1 hour. This is the 1 hour. We're already above it. This is the 1 hour. Yeah, maybe your chart will say anything. I'm really confused. See DAX. This is gold. Yeah, show me your chart. Show me your chart, then I can see. I can see. Because I don't see previous 1 hour support. What's the main difference you see in DAX over GJ and gold? It's an indice, so it moves a little bit more aggressive. You can use 5 as a 15. Morning, brother, morning. How long did it take you to analyze and refine this? Wow. I think it took me to refine to where I'm pretty stable at least 2.5 years. To where you can analyze very, very, you know, I mean, if you're taught it, you can learn it in like 3 months, man, 3 to 6 months. You just need to be able to, for someone to teach you, you know, and tell you all the stuff. But to analyze the way you want to analyze efficiently. You mean sells below that, not buys. Right? Sells below this. $23.74. Oh, all the way up here. Okay. Now I'm going blind. Totally makes sense. Yeah, but by the time it gets there, hopefully there'll be an entry lower to get to there would be a lot better. But yes, I do get it. Since the wick tapped it, you can actually look double, right? We've double already tested this zone twice. You know, since we've tested this zone twice. Too far? Yeah, because think about it like this. If price was to just start closing bullish quickly like this, it's going to be very hard to get in, right? This is where you're looking to take a buy. You know, so by the time that happens, you know, maybe it starts, you want it kind of like the one candle to come here, next candle chill, and then you need it, you know. Because we could even buy earlier here as well. It is still an option, but I wouldn't be worried about that since we've basically tapped it twice, yes. You know. How much backtesting did you do on DAX before trading it? So what I do is I do it a little bit different. I backtest periods during different months because I have a strategy already. I don't need to practice the strategy. I want to see how DAX moves in different periods. So what I do is I go and test the strategy in different market conditions. So I'll take maybe 10 trades in 1 month, and then I'll quickly go to another month, and I'll instead of trying to backtest 50 trades total, I'll look to take 5 to 10 trades in a single month and just focus on what is its characteristics during each month, because I want data like that. And then of course I'm following it on a daily basis live as well, right? That's another thing. Should we do a little poll for news just to see what you guys are thinking? We could do a poll for news. Let me pin the 700 giveaway. Are you looking for setup 3 type of sell on close, or below? Would you be confident? Close below, I'd be confident. You know, like a solid close below with the being like 5-minute structure. I wouldn't really trust a 5. I would want a 15 below. Just because of, you know, bias is not technically is not fully bearish, right? Or mixed. But I am considering it mixed because of the multiple rejections. So DAX has been very bullish higher time frame. You know, like the best moves have actually been towards upside, regardless of this one. But if we just look at, you know, most of the good moves are towards the upside, which I think is pretty clear if you take it over the last 2 months. A lot of volume came here, huh? Gapped up as well. Some big 1-minute volume candles. Hi, I'm going for a target of 500 backtesting profitable trades in gold, understanding gold and NYC going pretty well. Amazing. I don't think you have to do all 500. I think it will definitely, if you do not see profitable system in 50 trades, I would say stop wasting time. In 50 trades, you definitely need to see consistent profitable system. But remember, there's a big difference between backtesting and simulation, right? Backtesting is you're just collecting data. You're trying to see if the setup works or not. Simulation refers to what? Actually practicing your trading routine, practicing you trade in the market as if it was real, playing ticks, watching the trade go on, active management, active break even, whereas just collecting data on a setup is like you trying to do it as fast as possible. What's the difference between German 40 and German 30? Well, obviously would be the minus of 10 companies, but in terms of the chart, some brokers name it German 30. It's the same as German 40. But, you know, in official terms, it should not be the same, but it is. Hi, if GBP fundamental numbers are green, will gold pump as well? Highly unlikely, no. Harry, thank you for all your hard work. We appreciate you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the message. How can I do a simulation? You can use a simulation software. So the one in my description, Pip Labs, is the one I would use for good reasons. But you can go try it out. There's a free demo, cost you nothing. Plan for GBP JPY. I set the plan early in the morning. You need to make sure to show up for the plan. Buys above daily resistance. But we have news in 4 minutes. We have news in 4 minutes. What is the best lot size on a 2k pound account and how many positions? I think you need to withdraw that 2k and spend some time learning some education, brother. You're gonna waste 2,000 pounds. It's mind-boggling to me that people have 2,000 pounds but are scared to pay 40 pounds. Are scared to pay 45 pounds to get some good education on making sure you're not blowing your account, right? Like, just even take my basic stuff. Like, this is what you need to watch right now. You need to go to my website and press get access to my free risk management course. This course literally talks about how to calculate risk. You need to understand how to calculate risk because that's how you're going to be able to take positions. Because based on your stop loss, your lot size will change. You can't have the same lot size all with the, you know, different stop losses, because one time you'll risk 100 quid, the other time you'll risk 10 quid. Doesn't make sense. So one trade you make 10 quid, another trade you make 100 quid, then you lose 500 quid. What's the point? What's the point? So please go watch that, please. Pip Labs is amazing. I wish I could use it taking real trades. It's smooth. I think we all wish we could take the stats and the trades we take on a simulation software. Stress-free. Would you trust only structure on 15 gold with the 31 hour just straight push? Yeah, it's tough, man. It's definitely tough. It would be super aggressive, you know. Skipping candles would be ideal for real markets. Wouldn't that be like, yeah, that would be so nice, right? Like right now we know what we need to wait for on gold. Would be sick just to skip till it happens. And if it doesn't, you get on with your day. I mean, we could finish a session in 10 minutes, man. Could you imagine how good that would be? Zone versus line, what's best? Bro, line always. Zone is not as accurate as line. Zone is for like supply and demand. Is NY harder to trade than London due to heavy moves in one start focus on both sessions? It's not harder. It's the same. It's just you are working more around news. You need to be more alert. But sometimes it's better because there's more volume. But the reason I like London is because of the pairs I trade. And I do like the limited amount of news. You can get some very clean moves in London. Just in what you said with lot size and your SL, your one-to-one always end up being the same dollar amount. Yeah, but that's what you want. You don't have to focus on one. I don't think it makes a difference. Because it's not like strategy adapts. Instead, you're just learning to trade in all conditions. If you keep losing in NY, you need to fix that, obviously. You know, NY sometimes can be nice because we have bias change as well during NY. "35 seconds for news, guys. Let's see what happens here. I'm interested to see if we get... I mean, news these days on GBP has not been drastic. We've seen like a 30 pip move here, but I'm interested to see what the numbers are going to come out as. 22 seconds for news. Let's see in chat. Quickly type up or down. What are you predicting? Quickly. Let's see. No poll? I forgot. Not enough time. Also, I don't want to encourage gambling. I'm seeing mostly up. Up is winning. Damn, you're all wrong. All who said up was wrong. All who said up was wrong. We have DAX as well. Close above here. Bottom wick is made. Shit. Need to be fast. This is the open. My spreads have not settled yet. Oh, my spreads just went down now. I have no bottom wick on broker. Does anyone have bottom wick on broker? I have no bottom wick on broker on DAX here. So I can't take this because I have no bottom wick on broker on DAX. That was weird candle. I don't know what to do with those type of candles. They're very weird for me. It's like a full gap down. So I just stayed out. I really wish that just made a bottom wick. It was only like 9 points away. Would have been an easy 1-to-1 that. Would have been done already. Yeah, mine looks the same, Alex. Very easy 1-to-1 would have been. I had a bottom wick. Weird though, your spreads would be high though. Mine spreads took some time. I don't even have a wick. Mine looks like this. It looks weird like this. It's like a... I wonder if these gap downs are wicks though. I don't know. It's just one of those weird candles. One of those weird candles. But in regarding now to Toby, this is what you exactly wanted to see to take buys above this zone, Toby. We wanted to see like a big move up like this. Even if I quickly got in here, no chance anyone else gets in. Spreads are still high. Yeah, that's the problem. Mine already dropped though. They're pretty fast. I was just scared it flips and makes a bottom wick. You know, it's Frankfurt Open. It's just, you know, it's one of those situations where it looks very clean on this here. Perfect, actually. but it looks drastically different on my screen. Yeah, this is more accurate here. It is risky, yeah, it is risky. My broker closed below even. Yeah, mine was clear above. It just opened very weird. Look how my candle opened here. I mean, I don't even know what you consider that open. Like, what type of open is that? That's like a 9 pip. It's like a 5-point down. I don't know. It's just weird when I see that. Not sure how to tackle that. Maybe small gap down, I don't mind. Small gap down doesn't make sense. But when it's like that big of a gap down, I'd rather just see what happens. So GJ news push down here. There is a gap. On GJ, I have on broker a gap. Gold here closed at, it was basically above, but I think I need to see this on broker to see what it's looking like. Let's put a line on broker. On broker it's below, so always good to check. When was your last win? You can see on the journal, man. You can always track my wins on the journal. Yesterday I had 20 pips in profit yesterday, but I didn't close 20 pips on profit. I took a, you can see it on the journal here. Last loss was only in the beginning of the month, the 6th. Haven't taken a loss since then, which is great. What was numbers here? I didn't even get a chance. 2.8, better than expected. That's why we see GJ dump down, huh? Because that means that they can reduce interest rates here. 2.8, yeah. All right. What? They revised it? Did you guys see that? They revised their forecast. This was 2.9. Do you guys remember? This was 2.9. They revised it. Always capping these guys, bro. Always capping. Numbers don't mean shit when you don't have any power. What's capping? Lying. They took a page from Forex Gurus. Damn. I still did not refresh, so it's 2.9. You caught them, huh? I mean, if DAX from here rejects and gets below the range, it's also going to make sense for sells. Bias on gold. It is mixed session bias today on gold, so buys and sells will make sense today on gold. Obviously, we're pushing up now. This closed below my broker, so I'm just going with broker as that's what I use as just a consistency point. If it did close above, would be valid. Would be valid. Especially with the 1 hour close. 30 looks disgusting. Like, It's very uncomfortable buying right here, you know. It just like it seems like absolutely stupid, you know, but how much trust we can put in the 15? I mean, nice bottom wick it would have had. What would stops be here? 23? For me it was, brother, your broker is on steroids, brother. It has bottom wick on DAX, nice open. It closed above on this one here as well. Not saying I don't believe you, huh? I've learned need to wait for the 15 close, then we'll see. I mean, the difference is, look at the push we've had, boys, you know? That's the problem here. The problem is not the setup. The problem is the push we've had. I was early, caught that whole push. Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, then you don't need to be trying to chase it up here, right? Need to quit for the day, but still early. I mean, now you just can preserve profits, you know? Hi, I found it. Search up places movie orange trading, orange juice futures trading scene. Really? Wow. We need to check that out. That's pretty cool. There's a movie with orange juice futures. They should come and talk to me about that. Give me a shout out. So clean on DAX, shame that. I mean, you could guess you can still take it. It's just I don't know what to do in that situation. Just looks super weird, so I just say, okay, I'm gonna wait, and then it's too late, you know? That's the thing. Sometimes, I mean, if a candle is opening like a 9 pips below the open price, it seems extremely weird for me to be able to take a trade like that. Like, no chance I find that normal, you know, for a candle to look like that. That's definitely going to make me hesitate. I mean, I don't know when the last time I've actually seen that type of candle there. I mean, look at this candle. It's so weird. From the actual open price, from where your entry, it's like a 9 point, you know, 9 point whole range there. It's weird. Okay, small gaps up and down, no problem. I'm trying to look back in price when that's happened before. I just can't seem to find it. Can anyone find the time where that's happened before? Because we just need data on that. If we have data on that, then it doesn't matter. So it would be great to see when that's happened before, and you know. The scary thing, guys, the scary thing is that if it's happened before and price went to if it's happened before and price goes to make a bottom wick, you won't notice it, right? Because it went to make its bottom wick, so the candle will look a bit normal. I'm scrolling through price here. I can't see a gap like that happen before. So it just makes you kind of hesitant. Is it okay to be in a trade if the news, but it's a green folder? Yeah, of course, of course. Is there any reason why indices do not have any commission? It's just the way commissions are calculated. They can't really be calculated in the same way it is on an indices, and indices make money from swaps and from spreads. Spreads on indices are always a little bit higher, but to be honest, I find spreads very good on indices. So I will not ask questions and more enjoy the opportunity of no commission. Any plan to sell GJ, fill the wick? Nah. GJ's a gap. GJ pretty much needs to create good structure now. It's pretty cooked. For me, focus is on DAX to see if this momentum is going to continue. So what I was telling Toby, if we wanted to buy above here, this is exactly what we want. One big candle, not for it to slowly one candle close, next candle close, then it's too late because you have like 3-4 candles. When it does it in one candle, the next candle can chill. We can create 5-minute structure and then you can get the breakout because it's like the volume push has pushed us to the zone we want to be looking next to buy. Just sucks because I wanted to be in from here. This was very easy to get in from there. I had planned that from this morning and it's working out perfectly. Now we have the 15-minute close here, so we're going to see what the next 15 does. Next 15 hopefully does create some sort of structure. That's what we would want to see. How's it going, Harry? Excellent trading recently, brother. Glad to see you winning. Thank you, man. Thank you. Harry, is it okay to be in a trade if there's news but green folder? I don't know if I've answered that. But of course it is, yes. Of course it is. On gold, we have 15-minute close. Yeah, what does this 15-minute close tell you? This is the setup. Guys are very antsy to take a trade. Very antsy. Not thinking straight. It's like the mind shuts off immediately. In what world does this look like a solid close? What does this close tell you logically? You have to be honest with yourself. So this is a great close for you. How does, okay, so let's review this trade, right? How does 30-minute look buying the highs here? Does it look like a good buy on the 30-minute? Would you look like the smartest guy here buying here? Probably not. Buying the highs here. Look at 1 hour. Best place to buy? Probably not. How did 15-minute close? Indecision. Doesn't want to go up. Doesn't want to go down. So it's like the lowest probability you're putting yourself in. Trying to buy at the highs right now. I mean, you could try it. There's no doubt about it. But you know, it's like it's a big risk you take, you know. It's a big risk. Like, it's not a risk you really want to be taking. So if I ask you, okay, are you confident putting $1,000 on that type of candle right there? You want a candle that you're confident to put $1,000 on. You know, it doesn't mean it can't play out. I definitely see it playing out. There's a possibility here. It's not wrong, right? The analysis is still right. But the chance that it also retraces here, also very possible here. And you don't really want that. You don't want those like 50-50s. Looking for it to flip and run back down. If it does, I'm interested in sells. Looks like DAX is running here. I don't think, if DAX doesn't chill out, I don't know if we're going to be able to find an entry here. Hopefully it can chill out, form some sort of 5-minute structure, but a hell of a lot of volume. And that's the difference, guys. I could plan a whole trade. And this is what people don't show you. This is what people don't show you, right? Is I can plan a whole trade today. I'm the one who made this plan to take this trade above here. Perfect trade. The candle opens weird and I don't know what to do with that situation. I take the safest option to stay out. I don't take the FOMO option to just jump in and see what happens, because I haven't seen that. Maybe if I was on low risk or just on a challenge that I don't care about, doesn't matter. I would take it just for the hell of it because it still follows the plan. But I don't know what that candle is. And look what happens, right? Your whole move comes. A lot of impulsive volume today. Nothing, man. No impulsive volume. This was just a clean setup. The only difference is that you got the close. The close was there. Price did everything you wanted it to do. This is just the reaction of the plan. Imagine that this made the bottom wick we wanted to make, right? This would be an amazing move. Big runners, right? This is a rocket. You'd be up like a good amount of points right now. What is that? Easy 68 points. So very clean move, but you can't control when the candle opens weird like that. It's a very abnormal candle. The only other option you have is to go in, but you have to be honest with yourself. Would you have? I didn't. And that's the thing. That's the thing in the markets that differentiate a good trader from a bad trader. Because imagine you took this trade, but it lost. And then you go seek feedback. I don't know why this trade lost. And you just ignore the fact that the candle opened weird. And now the market has to punish you like this, right? It has to punish you and make you watch all of this move go and play out. And guess what people do when the market punishes you in a move like this? A move that you could have been part of. You want to break your plan. Now everyone's antsy. Everyone has that feeling. I need to take a trade. Market's moving. I need to make money. Boom. And this is just making you and annoying you and making you frustrated. And the more frustration that comes into the market now, the more likely you're going to make a mistake. And you're letting that frustration build and build and build and build. Until what? Until you go and make a mistake, and that mistake costs you money, you get pissed, and then you just lose and lose and lose. You know? It's just how the markets work. You have to really learn to be unfazed by this type of thing. You know, because it doesn't make a difference. My plan was very solid. I think of this the opposite way. My mindset towards this is like, holy shit, Harry, I planned the best move of the day. It doesn't bother me that I can't find an entry because of some random candle, because that's not in my control. The only things I'm going to be frustrated about is things that are in my control. Why worry about and be frustrated about things that are not in your control? If you can't control that, why worry about? There's nothing you can do. You can make money with things that are in your control. So why not focus on that? Why change your mindset to try focus on the things that are not in your control? Because you ain't changing it. You ain't changing the fact today that the candle opened like that. Sorry, you're not. There's no chance. You're not changing the fact that you took, you know, the candle opened no bottom wick. You're not changing that fact. You're not changing the fact that price gave you no entry. What you are changing the fact is you took an entry that followed your rules. You followed the plan exactly. You put proper stop loss placement. All of those things are in your control. And as long as you control those to your best ability, there's nothing to lose. And trust me, guys, I'm speaking here from experience. I'm speaking here from experience. Excuse me. Not sneezing here from experience. Speaking here from experience. So, this is what I'm saying. Like, if you actually want to be profitable, trust me. Because let me ask yourself, all the shit you're doing now, the FOMO entries, the stupid trades, how is your positions looking P&L wise? Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Are you guys making money? Because if you are, continue with it. But if you're not, I'm just saying, so be honest. Are you consistently profitable on a month-to-month basis? Maybe that's why. Maybe this idiot on live stream on a daily basis has something that might make sense. Why do you think there's not a lot of live streamers out there surviving? Because they can't survive that fact. Too much pressure happens on the internet. Too much pressure to do this. Obviously, can't you see? If I put a losing position on my stream, my views go up. So it's very important. Harry, check how you were right on gold. Yeah, but there's also a chance it could have continued up. But, you know, I'm avoiding this opportunity here. It's like, you know, there'll be so many people who have FOMO. They'll look at the 5 minute like this and they say, this is bullish. This looks great. But just from the reasons I said and the probabilities, like something that looks great with good higher low structure in one candle can look like what? Like shit, right? Because now you're like, oh man, this trade looks bad, and you're begging for it to reject somewhere, you know? So you really don't want to be in those situations when you can avoid them. GG, Dax hit my target for the day, which was going to be this 4-hour support. So very nice. I like how this, we did say that this could be the pick of liquidity. It was beautiful, beautiful breakdown here. The most important part is how someone can break down a chart like this. The art of trading is understanding. Today, Harry came to a chart. He analyzed the chart and made potential outcomes. Did his outcomes make sense? Was his analysis very correct? Yes. Big win, man. If you can't do that, it's impossible to be profitable, because the only last part to that equation is just an entry. That's it. An entry is mechanical. You're just looking for a set of rules. The part that's hard, the part that people miss out a lot on, is being able to come to a chart that is inside of a range and being able to decipher what is going to make sense. Where you're wrong, where you're right. That's where the art is, you know? An entry is just mechanical, right? It's just a set of rules that are going to keep you profitable long term. You break those rules, long term you're going to lose. You stick to those rules, long term you're going to win. And the market is, remember, the market's designed for you to break your rules. It always trying to put you in emotional situations to cause you to make emotional decisions. Very important. The market's always trying to cause emotional situations to make you do emotional decisions, okay? That you don't have a psychology problem. Psychology is overhyped. People who said, oh, my psychology is really bad. Your psychology in life is really bad, not trading, brother. It has nothing to do with trading. Your psychology in life has a problem because you're not disciplined overall in life. You're not disciplined. It's not to do with trading. The reason is that what's happening is that your emotional situations in the chart are bringing out those emotions. So guess what? You could remove yourself from that emotional situation and you're not going to make an emotional decision. You see what I'm saying? I started trading last year, April. The only time I won 10 consecutive trades is when I joined this group. Your experience and setup's amazing. Keep up the good work. Amazing, man. Thank you. Thank you. Harry, you sound a little on edge today. Good friend. We all love and respect you, brother. You are the best. No stress. On edge? Oh, I didn't think I sounded on edge. My bad. I thought I was actually explaining some very important information, but I'll keep quiet. Seems like people don't like it. I actually thought I was, this is my normal rants. I normally say like this. I'm just trying to tell people how to navigate the market. But it's okay. I didn't mean it to come across like that. It's just me being passionate. Sharing experience, how the market will cause you emotions. This is really important information. Don't stop ranting. No, No, it's okay. Mental rants every day. Hey, you don't sound on edge. You're just giving us important information. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're all good. We're all good. How's the range above here? Beautiful range above here, guys. Beautiful range above here. We do have a great range above here. So it's not over. It's not over till the fat lady sings. That's an old saying. So we need to see some sort of structure. We have time. Fat lady sings? Yes, it's an old saying. It's an old saying. It's not over till the fat lady sings. I think it comes from, yeah, it's an old British saying. Because I am fake British, so. Hi, I've been part of your exclusive group for the past just over a month. The past 2 weeks have been my first 2 weeks of all winning trades, and I passed 250k evaluations yesterday. Follow your trade management and trade plans with discipline. That's amazing work, man. You guys need to share that in motivations, achievements. It's really good to put a wall of all of the things you guys are achieving. It makes me happy. If anything I get out of that, it's that. That's what really makes me happy. Would you consider buys if gold close above now? Could be good 5-minute structure. We'd want the 15 actually to close below, because if it just closes another doji candle on a 30-minute, another doji candle on a 15-minute, it just looks bad. You know? I believe it's American. The TV stopped after the fat lady sung the US national anthem. I think it's British from operas actually, because the opera would not end until the fat lady sang. So I do believe it comes from that. Some great volume here on DAX, man. Just need one 5-minute pullback. Yeah, there is a small, the most recent one here. We do have that, so we can also add this. Shame, but you have to just keep, you can't let this like affect you. Like, just make yourself happy that the plan's played out. Make yourself happy you were correct. It's just a shame. If a candle's gonna look weird, you know, unlucky. It's unlucky. Anyone get in on GJ after 5-minute structure? What do you took on GJ, bro? No, I didn't take GJ here. I didn't see a setup here that made sense for me. To get to here was about 7 pips, stop loss about 14 pips. Wasn't looking for that. But I guess that does kind of nice 5-minute structure there. Maybe could have break even here. 1 hour still a gap here, which I don't like. Want to see how much it filled of that gap. It's still open, that gap. It's a very small gap though. Mark Douglas says, you never miss a trade because the market is in perpetual movement. Therefore, your setup has yet to come. Yeah, it's great. I mean, if you guys actually go see the real traders, the good people, it's just the internet brainwashes a lot of people, including myself. When I came to this game, I was brainwashed. I had to really change my mindset. That's why I'm probably different. I don't think a lot of traders probably sit here and do what I do like the way I do it, because at the end of the day, I had one goal here. My one goal was to generate profits from the market. So my mindset is to do everything in my power to make sure that happens. And guess what? Probably through that, I'm going to find the most efficient way. And this is the most efficient way I found. It might not be the best, but from what I've seen and what I've looked around and who I've spoken to, it's damn close. And it seems pretty similar. Anyways, guys, give me a sec. Just go toilet. Need to make a quick phone call as well. I'll only be about 2-3 minutes and be back. Very interesting here. We can't even close one 5-minute candle bearish. I think no trade today. Everything hit TP. It's just nothing's pulling back, man. I mean, gold, we came today's session at the fucking highs, so gold was very tough unless sells started to play out. That's what I was really planning on. Sells, we had great range for sells here. Still can't play out. We could retest the 4-hour reject. It's just gonna take, you know, some time for it to reject, of course. GJ at the moment, it's trying to make up its mind of how much it wants to dump here after news. Nothing, I didn't really plan for that GJ move, to be honest. I planned for a GJ move below this support here, not the 500. So I didn't plan these moves here. This wasn't part of my plan. DAX, we know what happened. DAX is a move I planned, but couldn't get an entry. It's just a big shame. That was my trade of today. It was very, 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 very good trade this would have been. I was just actually thinking, what would I have done? I was thinking like, what world would I have entered this trade here? Like, what world would I have entered this trade? Like, FOMO'd into this trade? Like, I just don't see. Even if I'm like, oh, I don't know what excuse I could make to myself there. It's just such a weird candle. It's massive. A small gap down, maybe I can excuse myself. But that type of candle is just too weird, this candle, bro. It just looks weird. Like, I don't know. Like, here's a gap down. This is a gap down that I've seen before. This one here. Can you guys see this? This one here is normal. I need my zoom tools. This gap down, I don't mind. That type of gap down. Look at the difference. But this was weird for me. See, these gap downs are fine. These gap downs even have a bottom wick though. It's kind of simple. Right? It's simple because it has a bottom wick as well. But this gap down, like, look, all of the gap downs have a bottom wick, gap down. This one gapped up. This one a gap down here, but has a bottom wick. And what's the weirdest thing? This is the first time ever I've had my DAX spread at 40 points here. So not 40 points, but 40. So 4 points. Not 4 points, 0.4 points. Which is crazy. It's normally fixed at 0.5. Yeah, let me see the 1 minute. I'm interested actually. Yeah, the 1 minute's like looks like a new, it's so weird because look at how the 1 minute looks. 1 minute is all super choppy, big random things. And then boom, this one here. I don't know, man, I don't know what to do with this type of situation. Because I'm always the type of guy that when something like this happens, I like to think, okay, what can I do in the future? What can I do in the future here? But I can't even think. There was IPC news at the big candle. Interesting. But the gap down is weird. This was my plan though. It looked very clean, man. I actually planned this everything. I planned this entry here. I said about the 15-minute. It was perfect, man. Perfect trade. Very nice stop loss. 16-point stop loss is nuts. But you know, you always dream about holding full position. Probably wouldn't have held full there. GJ tanking now. I really want this gold sell actually. I think it will be a good position. I really don't trust this move up. Do you think perhaps a gap down can be considered a wick when there is previous candle closed? Yeah, but the problem is we need data on that. You're correct, but we need to see how many times a candle gaps down and doesn't make a wick. The hardest thing is that a candle can open without a gap down and make a wick. The thing with the gap down is it's like you need, when you're trading Frankfurt open like that, you need at least 1 minute for spread to calm down, especially when you're using a small stop loss. Can you explain key levels? What do you mean by explain them? Rate cut in May. Interesting. I don't see this IPC news. Where's that IPC news? You want to sell, I want to buy. I don't necessarily disagree, but you don't have much ranges to buy into. That's the problem here. Like, you could still continue the buys, but you know, we pushed very, very heavy on 30-minute. We haven't had a pullback since this morning, so the buys are just getting riskier and riskier and riskier. I think need to have some big balls to do it. 1 hour looks good on DAX. Yeah, you just need to have some big balls to try buy these highs, but I could try, man. I could try. If you don't have the appetite for that, we could try above the 4 hour support. We have the range. We have the range. There's still some range here. It just, if there's no volume, then it's game over. But the range is there. Oh, you mean the CPI? Yeah, but CPI doesn't affect too much DAX. You know, DAX is really an international companies. If you look at what the DAX is built with, you know, and the companies of DAX, that's why the German economy doesn't affect DAX directly in terms of, not per se, but especially German currency. Because most of their business is operated. Like, news that will affect DAX is more on the job side of the German economy, because of course all these companies mostly operate headquarters out of Germany. So obviously if they're pumping in money to help jobs, it will help those companies, etc., be able to scale faster and stuff like that. But in terms of actual the companies themselves, they all, you know, automakers, most of their sales are actually done outside of Germany, you know. Pharmaceutical companies as well, Bayer, stuff like that, you know. We'll see how this closes here in about 2 minutes. I think today you just press buy. Look at this. We need to be very heavy on management if we enter here. Yes, you need to just be like, realize taking a trade here, you're just trying to capitalize on momentum, right? It's not really a trade that is gonna be long-term profitable. I wouldn't take that all the time. The only reason I would take it is to give myself an option today to see if anything happens, and if it doesn't, I get out, you know. It's a very aggressive thing you're doing, you know. There is the chance you enter, it just completely ruins you there, you know, and then you give it a shot, that's it. You move on to next trade, and you know, I mean, you don't even have to take a trade today. I mean, that would be, I would say, the safest option, but it's just based on how you know, what you have with your P&L for the month as well. Try to capitalize on momentum because it's just keep pushing up at the moment. And sometimes, you know, when DAX keeps pushing like this, we do have 5-minute structure. Sometimes you can capitalize off that momentum. Don't do it, Harry. I can. It is very extended, but you know, it will be more about, okay, what type of... See, the difference is I have the management power. The only time you get unlucky is if it just dumps immediately. I took it. I don't think there's an entry yet. You need something minimum to close above 4-hour support. You can't break all rules, you know. You can't break all rules. It's very important not to just, okay, I'm just gonna take something here, you know, like at least let it get above 4-hour supports and just have confirmations. All right, that closed below 4-hour support for me, so no entry yet. And that's the fine difference. Like, I'm still willing to give an aggressive option today, but I will not FOMO in. I will not break my rules and just all of a sudden now buy at a place that I would never have bought, right? I think that's a massive difference between giving yourself... So there's a fine balance between a FOMO entry and an aggressive entry. On the good side, all-time high is 250 points away. See the 4-hour support? I'm telling you, you break your plan, guys. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I'm telling you. You see the difference, right? So important, man. So important. Literally the deciding factor. When the last time you just want to FOMO in, boom, screwed. GJ support. GJ is a free fall. GJ is a free fall. I have to deal with monkeys messaging me. Fucking monkeys, man. Sorry, they're just pissing me off. Sometimes people, I don't understand. Anyways, that's different. But some people, I don't understand how people can be like this. Like so daft, man. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Any sense how people can run this one. Monkeys, I'm dealing with monkeys. DAX could be interesting on the open here. I'm very interested to see what the open candle does. Monkeys, my CS teammates? Oh man, of course. Of course, of course. That's no doubt. Alright, let's say you're in a relationship and trading is one of the ways you bring food to the table. You're passionate about it. You come to stream daily, but your spouse is not happy with it. I'd ask my spouse, what is the point you're not happy about? Please explain to me. Because there's something they're not happy about. So what are they not happy about? And then you work backwards from that. There's no excuse. I'm coming to stream. What are you not happy about me going to stream? You know, it has to be something, right? So you find out what that is and work backwards. Only thing that next bottom 1 hour wick, will we want it to push down on the open instead of eat up our clean range towards the upside? If you actually look at DAX, DAX can push here enough to give us a scalp, which will come above the 4 hour support now that we have structure made. If I'm crazy today, depends how crazy I am today. If I'm crazy and 15-minute closes with a resistance here, there is possibility of a quick short, especially with 5-minute change of structure. How would I calculate risk for DAX? The same way you calculate risk for everything else, bro. She craves too much attention and you're not giving it to her. That's cheap though. You know, you're only on trading for 2 hours a day. If you're trading for 10 hours a day, I agree. You know? But that's silly. Where's the 5-minute structure break? I would say back below the 4 hour support would be a confirmation, but the structure break is actually from here. But again, guys, a lot of bullish momentum. Don't get ahead of yourselves with sells. Just because something has gone up doesn't mean you have to look for it to come down. You know? In a movie called Let It Ride by gambler Richard Diffuse tells his wife Terry, I just realized it's not my gambling you hate, it's my losing. Damn, that's deep. One hour didn't tap target, is that issue for shorting? No, the issue for shorting is we're more bullish, bro. That's the issue for shorting. We have daily looking very good for buys. 4 hour time frame now breaking all highs. We are bullish, right? So the fact that you're fixed all on shorts, not a good thing. But because I'd rather be taking for buys. But shorts could be an option here. So we're going to see how this candle opens here. But we just need to be careful. I mean, if it opens big top wick and then breaks the lows, that would be interesting. Alright, so what's happening here? That's weird the way that opened. I'm still waiting here to see some more information. Yeah, that's the top wick I want. Perfect. Yeah, if it starts to flip here and break the low, I would be interested. 15 close bearish. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a short break of low. I'm gonna go like 75% risk. 0.75, sorry. It's an aggressive position, stop above the 5. Looking for a retracement move here. If it fails, I'm gonna manage quickly. Hasn't broke on my broker. All right. So took it there. All right, I'm going to be aggressive on this position here. I'm going to move stops to break even now already and try to get a 1-to-1 and see what happens. Come on, a little bit more. A little bit more. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Gonna secure there. Done. Took it out there at my TP. Closed position there for a 1-to-1. Perfect. And that's the position, boys. That's the position. Perfect. Look at that rejection from my TP. Nice. Amazing, amazing. Happy with that position. That's a little counter trend scalp there. Look at that TP placement, man. So that was pretty clean, man. That was pretty clean. Happy with that. And yeah, that's it. Call it a trade. Look at that, man. Got out just a little bit above here, so I didn't get my exact 1-to-1. Got for 0.9 here instead of my full 1-to-1. But overall, very happy with the position. Nice 23 points there. And that's it. So close for about 20.6 for me. Is where I got my close there. So that's the scalp. That's the scalp, and that's it. So yeah, pretty happy with that. So yeah. Let me put that in the journal. Clean. Very, very clean. So that's how sometimes you can do those counter bias moves, right? Like I said, catch a little retracement. But yeah, impulsive trade, I don't think it's impulsive trade. This had a setup 5 on 5 minute, 15 minute close bearish. We had perfect TP to the 15. So I got 20 points there because it rejected pretty fast. And when I clicked the button, sell, setup 1, actually setup 2 this. We could actually even look for the buys after this as well. It's not crazy. It's not crazy to look for the buys. Remember, I went a little bit less risk. Just because it's a riskier trade. Can you send the empty journal file? No. You can just go to the journal file and press file, make a copy. Much easier than me sending that. It's very easy to delete things. All you have to do is just highlight and delete. Very easy. Check closure. Damn, boy. That's insane. You really sniped that. Yeah, you got better than me. You got better than me. I got around here. That's sick, man. That's a sick close. Damn. Let's see Tony. What's Tony's close? Damn, that's even good close, bro. That's a good close. Sheesh. Yeah, I got a little bit higher. That's a good close you boys got. But the winner of the close today goes to Joe, man. This guy got a sick close there. Weesh. Look at DAX now, pushing full past target. There's the sells. Surfer Joe, huh? FGMO slipped you 8 pips on what? On the exit? Entry. It wasn't even an impulsive entry. That's super weird. That's super weird. Back where we started the session, yeah, didn't really trust this move all too much. Literally filled that hole out. I didn't expect that. I'll be honest. I didn't expect 15 retest. 15 retest. I expected, which is why TP was around that zone. Which is why we have it, but for it to go back and now refill this whole zone, damn, I would be honest, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Harry, can you explain me what is the reason for going BE without holding? I don't understand what you mean going BE without holding. Without holding what? I was looking at the pips instead of the charts. I closed exactly 19 pips. I know this is what I'm looking for. I look at the charts because I look at the 15-minute zone. So as soon as it tapped my 50-minute zone, I close. All of them hit TP after this. Hit TP, brother. Even if you close late, maybe you close somewhere here. Okay, what to do? You know? There's no excuses with this. Even if, let's say, I mean, you can see some of the boys got amazing close. But even if you ended up closing here, fine. And if you just didn't close for no reason and you wanted it to try hold it and you were BE, then that's what you have to accept, right? Can't do anything about it, you know? You're not losing the trade. That's what's important. You know, fact is it played out. It came from this target to that target. Played the range perfectly. What happens after it taps this? It's a question mark. We could continue still bullish, look for buys above the highs here, or obviously, you know, it retraced here deeper. But the deeper retracement I wasn't expecting. DAX is fast. You know, DAX is fast. That's known though. I mean, I've been trading a lot of DAX. If you're not fast on DAX, it becomes difficult. Update stream. Thank you. Did it. GJ, what's GJ doing? Yeah, GJ still dumping here. Still dumping, but no clean ranges. So it's pretty hard to know when it's going to reject, right? Whenever you're trading in a spot with no clean ranges, it's very hard. The next clean range we have below here, but it's pretty damn pushed here. I'm glad we were able to take something on DAX though. Very nice. What was the reason of taking counter bias on DAX today? Because the bias was bullish. I don't trust the way these 4-hour candles closed. Look at this. You see this? Now, does this start to make more sense? You can start to see it. We are bullish for sure, which is why I said this was counter and I wasn't going massive and being like, I'm going to hold this. And I was very aggressive with management. That all plays a role, but I wasn't fully convinced. Plus, we retested 4-hour. We retested both 4 hours. We rejected from both 4 hours. And then this move was very impulsive this morning. We literally had no 5-minute pullbacks. The only time we pull back is when we change structure here. And that was with the open. We had a 15-minute candle closing bearish. We had a 30-minute candle closing bearish. So I have 30-minute candle closing bearish, 15-minute candle closing bearish. London open comes. I don't take the first push. I wait for it to make a top wick. It then breaks the lows. For me, at least it gives me a shot to give us somewhat of a push. Somewhat of a push, you know? And then see what happens there. And of course, it's still pushing now, but I couldn't have predicted this, to be honest, because of the daily candle closes. I wasn't expecting it to be a full bearish rest of the London here. But enough for the retracement I was expecting, which is why I took the trade. But this whole dump now afterwards, actually not something I would have held a runner to try and experiment with here as well. You know? So yeah, it was a clean trade today. And yeah. So guys, I'm gonna head off now. Job done. I appreciate it. I've done what I wanted to do. And appreciate you guys showing up to the stream. Hopefully catch you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing day, everyone. And hopefully catch you very soon. All right, so take care all, and peace. Cheers.